Disgraced former Gloriavale leader Herald Temple has successfully appealed his 2-year prison sentence and will not spend a minute behind bars. Claire Sherwood, NewsTalk ZB South Island News Director, joins us live this morning for the details. Claire, what do we know?
Yes, well, Howard Temple was sentenced to 26 months, to be specific, in prison in December for the sexual harm against young girls and young women in Gloriavale over a period of decades. He did admit that offending, but immediately upon receiving the sentence of 26 months in prison, his lawyer indicated he would appeal that, arguing it's manifestly excessive. Effectively, that is around his age. He is 85 years old, and they say that he has mild cognitive impairment, and therefore a term in prison would be too difficult for him. They effectively argued that the sentence should be reduced to 2 years or less, which means that it can then be transferred into home detention. The judge initially reserved the decision. The decision has now been released, and that is that he will not have to spend a day behind bars. He will, in fact, serve 11 months home detention. The judge agreed that it was going to be difficult for him to serve a prison sentence, and that a home detention sentence would be difficult enough for him because it would remove him from his community. Of course, there is backlash to this, particularly from Brian Henry. He's a barrister who's worked with Gloriavale leavers for some years. He says that this is a kick in the face. He says that it is very much something that questions the justice system, in his mind at least. And there's many in the community. Even here in the newsroom today, I'm hearing comments from people walking through to other departments saying, what about the age of the victims of this man? That said, the decision is what it is, and he will serve his 11-month home detention sentence for the crimes he admitted.
All right, Claire, 1NZ Stadium in Christchurch, Te Kaha Stadium, as we have been calling it. Tell us what's going on. Well, we sort of know about the booze issue. Is there a resolution here in sight?
Well, firstly, with the name, interestingly, it's called 1NZ Stadium at Te Kaha, if you're wondering. So we're told that the land itself is Te Kaha and the stadium is 1NZ Stadium. So that clarifies that for you, because lots of people think the same, and so did we for a long time. But basically, it's opening next month, Anzac weekend. Of course, we've got Super Rugby, Super Round. The Crusaders lead the way on the Friday night. The real issue, though, is that New Zealand's alcohol laws and the way our laws stand at the moment mean that no alcohol can be served beyond midnight on that Friday. It can be served on the Saturday morning right up until 1 p.m, but only with a meal. The issue isn't so much the Saturday, it's the Friday night, though. Hospitality venues and other bars and restaurants here in Christchurch say that it makes no sense for them to have to shut doors at midnight. They want to capitalise effectively on all of these people coming into town for this big weekend. They've tried to sort through different exemptions and so on. There is a members' bill by Kieran McAnulty which would change the laws for public holidays in the likes of Anzac and Easter, but that may not be through in time for next month. We now have an ACT MP, Cameron Luxton, who's saying that he's pushed through an urgent amendment to try to allow it for the Anzac weekend for 1NZ Stadium, saying that it would be a shame to sort of shut off bars and effectively shut off the push into Christchurch's economy.